Now we want to go into a panel discussion where we're going to discuss harnessing the future of digital marketing. And to moderate this session for us is the CEO at CIO East Africa, Laura Chite. She doubles up as the chairperson of iGov Africa. Together with a team of 5, she co-founded Hanovation, a platform that helps mentor and grow women in IT leadership. She has a BA in economics and sociology from Egerton University with over 18 years experience in the tech business, sales and marketing, HR, PR, and also events in management. Prior to joining CIO East Africa as the CEO, Laura worked with Microsoft East Africa, seasoned to the bone and marrow. She is a public speaker who has participated at several events such as TEDx, Transform Africa, Engage, World Blockchain Summit, and CIO East Africa Summits, amongst many, many others. We're glad to have Laura here with us. She is energetic, she is ready, she is fired up to take this panel discussion to another level. Welcome, Laura, and over to you as you moderate this discussion. Welcome and thank you.
Thank you very much, Ian. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I am back. Look who's back to moderate an interesting session. As I listen to Ian introducing Laura Chite, I have an out-of-body experience and wonder who he's talking about. But anyway, that's a story for another day. So we are here to talk about harnessing the future of digital marketing. Obviously, we've been talking about what you can do with digital marketing right now. But what about the future? What are the focus areas in the future that you should think about? Remember, as marketers, when you put a plan together, you have to have a plan that is long-term, sustainable, that is measurable, that you can execute at any time, that you can rejig at any time. So I'm so proud to be able to moderate the following panelists, and I will ask them to introduce themselves one by one as we get into the session. Ladies first, of course. I have the first lady on my panel is Divine. Divine, welcome. So good to see you, my marketing sister. Please introduce yourself and tell us something a little bit about yourself for 1 minute.
Okay, well, 1 minute. I'm a storyteller, so I'm going to try and condense this in 1 minute. But as you heard, my name is Divine Muragijimana. I am originally from Burundi, so I want to give a shout out to my Burundians all over the world. And thanks for having me, Laura. I'm really excited about this. My current role today, I lead the brand and global marketing comms across Africa for Sedulant. So essentially what I do is tell stories for a living, which is amazing. So I think one of the things and why I'm excited about being here is because I really believe that whether you're doing digital marketing, whether you're doing traditional marketing, however you demarcate the marketing function, that stories are really the future. So whether you're telling them from a digital perspective, I think that the fundamental reason why marketers exist is to connect users to their products and services by telling awesome stories. So I am really excited to see what awesome stories we're going to tell today.
Thank you, Divine, Chief Storyteller. This is why you've given us a whole story around why you're excited to be here and you're from Burundi, and a shout out to your people. Thank you so much, Divine. Wade, so good to see you here today. You're a great partner of CIO East Africa. Thank you for joining us. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at Rockstead.
Absolutely. So thank you, everyone, and welcome to today's session. My name is Wade Willingale, and I am the director for EMEA, so Europe, Middle East, and Africa for Rocketseed, which is a very intelligent email signature marketing software. If we're talking about our roots, I was born in South Africa, lived in Botswana, schooled in Zimbabwe, but heading up the growth for Rocketseed now in Johannesburg, South Africa. And I am excited to give some input into today. And yes, CIO East Africa has been a partner of Rocketseed for quite some time, and looking forward to share some insights.
Thank you, Wade, the child of Africa. It's great to have you here, and we look forward to your insights today. Next, I will ask Dio. Dio, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us what's happening in Nigeria. Is it as cold as Kenya? Welcome to our session.
Hi everyone. Thank you very much, Laura. My name is Dayo Adefila, and I'm really excited joining this panel. In my current role as head of digital for Africa at PZ Cousins, what I do essentially is help us turn digital transformation from something on paper into reality. So everything from capacity development to how we do our, digital marketing, and how it also helps us actually deliver on marketing and sales ROI. So that's what I do. My background has always been, like Divine, telling stories. I used to be a copywriter, many years ago, and you continue with that. What I really like about this panel, the whole summit actually, is that it's given us a chance to sit back during a moment when marketing is very fast paced, right? And we need to keep our head right and stay focused on the principles. So looking forward to chatting with you.
Thank you, Darius. So between you and Divine, the two, we must watch out. Otherwise, you're going to talk us out of this show of ours. We only have 30 minutes. Lenny, good to see your face. It's been many years since we interacted. Thank you for being a partner of CIO East Africa as well. Thank you for taking time out of your break to come and join us today. Kindly introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Saracen and what you do.
Thank you very much, Laura. So I'm Lenny Nganga, and I'm the CEO of the Saracen Media Group, who is affiliated to the Omnicom Media Group, which is the largest media agencies globally. And I'm very excited basically to be here, and thank you very much for organizing this session, because it's very timely, because this particular topic is one that's going to be very confusing in the years to come, because what has happened with COVID has actually really accelerated digital transformations and the use of digital tools. So I have been in the advertising industry for 27 years now, and I'm living proof that you can teach an old dog new tricks. And I'm really excited about this because at heart, I'm a geek and I really love all the tech stuff that is happening right now. And I'm really happy to be here to be able to share some insights about what's happening in this sphere. Thank you.
So Lenny, I was hoping you would not give that number in figures because you and I have known each other for many years, and you're kind of making people start calculating our age in as much as we look like we are, about 16 years old and have been at this game for very many years. So I'm going to start with you, Lenny. Is marketing as we know it dead? Yes. Yeah.
I would say it's not dead. It is just going to evolve. Because marketing ultimately is about, as it were, coming up with products that fit your consumers' needs, developing those products, getting them to market at the right price. So that is not going to change at its fundamental. What is, however, going to change incredibly is actually the ways in which you do this. Because if we look at, say, for example, the evolution of e-commerce, whether it's in Kenya or in Africa, there is developing in Africa and there is developing in the Western world, is actually really changing as well in terms of your distribution, how people are going to be buying your products. They don't necessarily have to go to a store. They can actually order from the safety of their homes and get products delivered to them, which is also giving rise to a whole new industry, which is actually unique to Africa, which I find very fascinating, is the rise of what we call in Nigeria, they call them the Okada. In Kenya, they're called Duthi guys, the motorcycle delivery guys. And these guys are actually enabling a lot of mobile commerce, even as far as going to your local vegetable vendor who can send somebody on a motorcycle to deliver their vegetables. So marketing as we know it is not dead. It's just going to evolve the ways in which all the marketing solutions and ways in which you're reaching your customers and consumers is going to change significantly. And because we have to change with also the way they are interacting with messages from us as the advertising and the marketing community. So whether it's going to be on mobile, or it's going to be on digital mediums, this is how we have to evolve. So at its heart, marketing is not going to change. So I'm saying it's not dead. It just has to evolve.
Okay. And I think it's important that that we as marketers do understand the importance of evolution from our perspective, that we need to acquire new skills to remain relevant. We need to acquire new skills to be able to know our customers. We need to acquire new skills to be able to have effective campaigns that will convert into, at the end of the day, better business, better productivity, better customer engagement. Divine, I'm going to go to you next as I segue from what Lenny said. So my question to you is the marketing department as constituted ready for the future of marketing? Here we're looking at skills, we're looking at storytelling, we're looking at the mediums that we use to communicate to our customers.
I think Laura, I would say in Africa, I think it's not. It's because I believe, and where I see today is that we are we have two extremes. So there are marketers who are marketing departments that are completely constituted with traditional marketing, and this is the way to go. And I completely understand that, because not every market has experienced the digital adoption or the rise of digital adoption as most of, like, for example, Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa. So I understand why there is an extreme where departments are completely focused on traditional marketing. But then we have the other extreme, which is the new, because digital marketing, I think, is the new diamond. It's shiny, it's new, it's great. So you see that there are marketing departments that have they have essentially the entire department to become the digital marketing function in the business. But I think that while we are not ready, I think that there is an emerging convergence of the two, which is really where we need to be. So we need to be in a place where marketers and the businesses actually start seeing an intersection between traditional marketing, where we need to see digital reinforcing traditional marketing channels, for example. So while I think we're not ready, so today I don't think we're anywhere close to being ready, I think that we need to also be very mindful that we need to, in Africa particularly, need to be very intentional about creating an intersection between the skills of traditional marketing, because they're very relevant in the market context, but also making sure that we're gaining skills. For example, having a very data-centric marketing department is very crucial right now.
Thank you, Divine. And I think that skills that you've brought up and the data you've brought up, very important new areas for us as marketers to look at. I mean, hey, a lot of us traditional marketers are being forced into this new modern digital marketing, which means we have to be agile and be ready to transform. But for us to be ready to transform, we need to acquire the skills. And where do we start the journey of acquiring the skills? And before I even talk about the journey of acquiring the skills and the things we should look out for in terms of the future of digital marketing, I just want to ask you a question, Dio. I want to talk about the Chief Data Officer role, okay? When we are in digital marketing, we collect a lot of data. And this data is sensitive data, and it's data that we use to interpret how we're going to put together our communication, content, campaigns going forward, and all those things. So do you see that CDO role becoming more powerful than the chief marketing role as marketing becomes more digital?
Okay, interesting question. I can't say yes or no, right? But what I will say, sorry, very tricky question, right? But what I will say is that clearly it's important for any organization that wants to be more customer centric and has therefore gone on the path of data to have well-established data protocols, right? So you have to make sure that first of all you understand the purpose you want to gather that data for. You have a data capture framework. But importantly, you have a data governance and compliance framework, because one of the worst things that could happen is you've invested lots of money in some activations and gotten data, but the process of handling and managing that data was tainted. If you're an ethical organization, you will have to get rid of that data. So I think so what I find is that in organizations that are very proactive now, right? Who manages the process of making sure that data is well handled is clearly something that has to work hand in hand with all aspects of the organization, whether it's the guys in marketing, because data about the customers, data about the business, it's 360. So I can't say yet whether it's going to be more important, but clearly it's a very, very important role.
I think based on what you've said, Dio, it's one of those things where there has to be maybe a close partnership between marketing and the technology department, which is part of the discussion we're having here today, where we're talking about a partnership. You can't operate in a silo anymore. Technology is actually a division, becomes a partner to every part of the business. And the more we talk about digital marketing, the more we start seeing the importance of the partnership between marketing and technology. And more so when we talk about data, very important. And I think you find yourself doing that a lot within your current role. Yeah?
Absolutely, Laura. The exciting thing is that you find that one of the the platforms that more marketers are paying attention to, which is the customer data platform, CDP, is one of those things that is actually helping to remove the silos, to show everyone the value and the benefits of actually, making data accessible across the organization, to be able to make better informed decisions, and also, like I said, ensure that you are remaining, ethical, or else you will run into, unexpected challenges, that could really jeopardize, marketing.
Yeah. Or the police will come and pick you up because you've abused the data. It's as simple as that. Wade, coming to you. I know one of the most important things to you is around engagement. And I'm a firm, I look at some of the stuff that is posted online on social media that is supposedly marketing, and I say to myself, no. All this stuff that we are posting online and we think we are marketing, there's no engagement. There's no engagement. And we know that's the point of marketing, and more so from a digital marketing perspective. So can you talk us a little bit around the importance of marketing and engagement? I have seen some of the stuff that you roll out as an organization, and it's amazing stuff. It actually makes somebody look at the creators and you're like, I want to interact with that thing. So talk to us a little bit around why you guys do what you do the way you do and the importance of that, especially as we move into the fourth industrial revolution.
I'm going to make a bold statement that the only thing that matters to marketing is engagement. You can communicate to your heart's content, but that's a very one-way street. That's brand telling. You can then get into an interactive space now that online is here and digital is here, and that's a two-way street, and that's brand listening. But if you want to really measure what's going on, you actually have to measure if someone's engaging with your brand, your message, your promo, your offer. And the only way to measure that is with data. So what marketers need to prove to Exco level and Manco and all the reporting is they're actually creating engagement of customers with your brand, because without engagement, you can't measure anything. So as we go towards this digital space, what we're finding is that our clients are finding is that they need to almost, you have personalization for customers, the kind of style that was brought up by Oracle earlier. The triathlon people have a similar set. What we're moving to is singularization. What brands are now doing is adapting their offer to the individual person. 2 days ago, I came across a story. I'd never heard of this before, but artificial intelligence can now taste. It can taste wine. What this company has done, called Tastery, is they've done some really clever chemical analysis of flavor and aromas of wines. They've taken that data set, and they're also combining that with consumers' taste preferences. Do you like the smell of flowers or the smell of leather and whatever you prefer? So they're taking a customer profile and these taste chemical data analysis sets and combining them. And what does that do? It connects the brand to the customer, the individual customer. Why? Because now the winery can offer the particular wine that person likes. And what the app can do is it can take the person's profile and show them all the available wines that suit their profiles. So it's just an example of some great tech and artificial intelligence or machine learning that is helping brands engage with customers and measure that singular offering to the particular customer at the end of the day. So I thought that was a great example.
Wow. Wade, I love that example. In fact, I only have one question. Are they hiring?
So as soon as they go global, I'll stick my hand up with you, Laura.
But just based on that example you've given us, we begin to understand the role of technology as not just being cables hanging around somewhere or email connecting us somewhere and all that. No, that's not what it is. It's not about posting things on social media or being keyboard warriors the way many people have become, especially in times of the pandemic. No, there's much more we can do with technology and harness the power of it to improve or make customer experiences much better. Yeah? So I love that story. Lenny, I'm coming back to you now. 27 years of being in media and marketing. How has your journey been from those traditional ways of pushing flyers and getting city council to stamp them for activations to today? Tell us like milestones or one or two stories here that you actually look at yourself and you look back and you're like, wow, things have changed?
Wow, Laura. It's been a great ride, I must say. And the one thing I'll say is that I've never been in a situation where there's been as much change as there has been in the last 1 year. I mean, some of the milestones along the way, I remember, I joined advertising and media when everything was still manual and things had to be typed out and all. And then computers came into the picture. At least now we could do things like spreadsheets. And then thereafter now, the internet changed everything. Because I remember before that, there was a time I was coordinating advertising between East and West Africa. And we did everything on fax, which was really tough. The internet then came in and changed a lot of how we operate, and also changed in terms of media vehicles for reaching your consumers and customers. That changed as well quite significantly. And then now, what we're seeing with the proliferation of different platforms and media vehicles, a complete change, and now has to be a reliance on technology stacks to basically be able to put out your advertising or your messaging effectively. If you're going to be looking at things like speed to market, agility, and my favorite subject right now, and it's something that we were not able to do very well in the past, was measuring your return on investment for all the marketing budgets that you put out and marketing messages that you put out. That is something that is great, and it's finally going to be able to have marketing have a proper seat at the table when all strategic business decisions are being made, showing how marketing is actually driving a proper return on investment. In the past, there have been attempts to really measure it, but now, with the interconnectivity of all these mediums, and even with us here in Africa, digital, of course, is very well connected, but even traditional mediums are going to start moving into this digital space with things like now streaming on audio and connected TVs and so on. So this is going to be able to really deliver that return on investment measurement for all the marketing efforts and give marketing the proper prominence that it does deserve.
Lenny, and as we all know, budget is an issue, ROI is an issue. By the time the marketing manager splits that budget between advertising, PR, digital, now going forward, back and forth, then they have to measure that. It's crazy. Divine, tell me a little bit about growth hacking.
Oh, wow. I think growth hacking is one of the biggest parts, and whoever's listening, and they're going to, I'm going to be killed today. But I think that growth hacking is one of the biggest opportunity for Africa. But I think today we see it as a fad. So growth hacking, if you look at the intersection of digital, when you think about digital really and performance marketing, earlier today we heard about how Safaricom is really keen on performance marketing, for example. Growth hacking is the practice that takes it to the next level. It combines the marketing communication, combines data, combines behavior analysis, for example, and is able to really give you a sense of return on investment in real time. So it's really about understanding who your customers are and being able to have, and I'm going to use the word that we use a lot, agile, being able to be very agile about marketing. So for marketers, especially on growth hacking, it is one of the hardest thing I think we need to learn as the, let's say, marketers of today, because growth hacking allows you to be able to run 2 or 3 campaigns in any given day, for example, and then it a chance to the same campaign 2 or 3 times in a week. So if you grow really well, you are able to connect to your customers very quickly, be able to respond to their needs. And as Wade was saying about, you're able to engage and respond to what the customers are saying in real time. And the biggest thing is that it needs a set of tools. It's very tech driven, it's very data driven. So one of the things that as Africans and in Africa, when you're a marketer, is to really now start figuring out how can growth hacking become a tool of driving your marketing activities. And as Lenny is saying, we really have evolved where now marketers have a seat at the table. And the only thing that matters now is every day, are we growing? Are we getting the results we want? Are we getting the product in as many hands as possible? And growth hacking, or the practice of it, gives us that in real time. You can give your exco, your leaders, real-time data that allows them to see, one, from a product perspective, is the product working? Is it answering the real need in the market? Is the marketing communication working? Are we having the right data? Are we engaging? Are we even spending enough, for example, in any given campaign to get the results we want? So growth hacking, awesome thing, but I hope we can adopt it in Africa and do it quickly.
Thank you very much, Divine. I know you're very passionate about growth hacking, and that's why I just threw that question at you, wham, bang, so that we can all understand this thing that you're crazy about. Dio, we know that you're an you are in the market in an organization that is across Africa, across different parts of the world. Okay, so I wonder, talking of growth hacking, you're running maybe 3, 4, 5 campaigns at the same time. Talk to me about how you digitally target the right audience with the right message. How do you make that decision?
Well, first of all, you are working with your overall marketing objectives. Secondly, you are looking at what kind of performance, historical performance you already have, for those set of audiences. Are you working with lookalike audiences? What has given you the best performance, even the kind of creatives, the kind of content. So what Divine is talking about really is another way of saying performance marketing, but with the deliberate intention that you want to accelerate your success, right? And you are very deliberate, with how you go about it. So what we do is, we make sure that, digital is not like out of home advertising, right? Where you put something up and then you walk away from it. So it's something you are checking every, 24 hours, 48 hours. You're looking at, the performance. You're looking at what do you want to optimize. If you had set engagement optimization, targets, for instance, how is it working out for you, right? And then you tweak, you adjust. Sometimes you go start a campaign with maybe 5 channels, and then you find out 3 are over-indexing for you, and then you dial down your budget from the remaining 2 that are not. So it's about making marketing really more efficient, but also very effective, because at the end of the day, you are looking at outcomes, right? You always start by describing what your outcomes will be, and then you're working towards that. So it's been an interesting experience, across Africa. For instance, we see different markets with different levels of exposure, different levels of skill sets, and then even the tools that are available, right? So you always have to also customize again for each market.
Thank you very much, Dio. And I like the fact that you're talking about the good thing around digital is you can constantly track and be able to to change your campaign to fit its needs and to be able to see the results that you're chasing. We are out of time, but I don't want to leave before Wade says something. Wade, what is your parting shot for all the marketers and technology people sitting in this session today? Because you actively run campaigns on a day-to-day basis digitally, and you create them for your customers.
I think what Rocket Seed and what I think marketers are advocating for is you need to optimize, number one, your owned media. You own your website, you own your email, use that first. Then you look at your rented media, Twitter profile and a Facebook page. If those companies decide to shut down, then your pages disappear. So you're renting space there. So I think what brands are doing is they're focusing what they own. And the most important thing I think I can part with is put truthfulness and authenticity into your marketing. People are bombarded with so many messages. If you just have a clear value offering, you don't lie about what you do, you have a great story tell about it. But truthfulness is actually very important for people nowadays. They are at home, disconnected, and what they're needing is a bit of positivity and truthfulness. So I think focus on your owned media. I think Africa has the biggest opportunity. If people think we are behind in terms of digital, then guess what? We've got the biggest growth gap to catch up on. So we've got the highest opportunity to optimize digital and catch up to the first world leaders. So my parting shot is take care of your owned media, and focus on that singularization and put some truthfulness out into your brand message.
Add on to your parting shot, I think in whatever we do as marketers, even as we embrace digital marketing, we must always keep in mind the customer journey is important. Every touch point of the customer matters. So whatever we do, whatever we build, I think it's a mix of old and new marketing methods, but at the end of the day, customer is king. So let's make sure we know our customers. Thank you so much to my panelists. You've been amazing. I've learned so much from you. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Our point was to have fun as we share insights of what we do on a day-to-day basis, how we view digital marketing, and the future of digital marketing. Take care of yourselves and keep safe. Cheers.
Yes, thank you, Laura.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you, Laura and CIO. Thank you very much.